The big weekend is almost upon us, the Kentucky Derby weekend. But before we run the Kentucky Derby on Saturday, we will run the Kentucky Oaks at Churchill Downs. The best way to play the Kentucky Oaks and all the races is to play through Naira Bets. And a special bonus this weekend, besides the normal $200 sign up bonus, a new member bonus, a free $25 wager on the Derby. If your horse finishes exactly second or third, you'll get your $25 back. Promo code is ROSES. Sign up at NairaBets.com and enjoy the many great things Naira Bets has to offer, like a 10% winner's bonus betting through the Naira Bets app on the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby Exacta. Also, a 2 million point hit and split on the late pick 4 on Kentucky Oaks Day on Friday. That's true Naira Bets. Head to NairaBets.com for more information. Now, obviously, weather a factor down there, and a lot of talk of some rain expected on Friday and the real possibility of a wet track for the Oaks. I don't know what to do with wet tracks. I'm going to handicap this race like it's a fast track or a wet track and hope for the best. I think you get yourself in trouble getting too caught up in worrying about the track condition. And one thing we know, Bellafina is the horse to beat, and she did handle a little bit of moisture in the track 2 starts back at Santa Anita. We'll take a look at the field. Bellafina, the early favorite for this race, and justifiably so. She's been running very well. Her 3 races in California have been very good this year, 3 wins and 3 starts. I don't love, though, as the distances get longer, her buyer figures are decreasing. And while she's been an easy winner and she beat Florida Lamar in this race, who's running back in the Oaks for trainer Bob Baffert, I don't know if she's necessarily training great heading into this race. And her one bad race in her career was at Churchill Downs when she bombed at 9-5 in the Kentucky in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies behind Jaywalk. I don't totally trust her. She's the horse to beat and the deserving favorite in here, but I think there is going to be some other competition at a short price. I am going to try to beat Bellafina. I believe that Champagne Anyone is the most logical other horse in this race. Now, 3 horses, the first, second, and fourth finishers from the Gulfstream Park Oaks, are coming back or at least entered in this Kentucky Oaks. 2 of them, the second finisher Dunbar Road and the fourth finisher Point of Honor, are mired down in the also eligibles. They'll need 1 or 2 scratches for both to run. And so far, so good for the body of the field for them not getting in. I do think if Dunbar Road gets in, she is a major player in this Kentucky Oaks. But I also think Champagne Anyone is the most major player if you're trying to beat Bellafina. I love the fact that she improves with every race. Unlike Bellafina, she's getting faster for her figures as the distances stretch out and as she heads towards the Kentucky Oaks. I really like this filly for trainer Ian Wilkes. At Keeneland, the Ashland, the Grade 1 Ashland, we had an upset when Out for a Spin was able to get it done. She easily beat Jaywalk, last year's Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies winner, who just does not appear to be the horse she was last year, and she held off Restless Rider, who looked like she had the race won, and she hung in the late stages. Now, in fairness to Restless Rider, the track was very much favoring speed, which helped both Out for a Spin and helped Jaywalk in this race, but Restless Rider should have got it done. She's in the outside post. I think she has a chance in here, but I'm not thrilled with her as the possible second or third choice. Out for a Spin, she's going to have to do it again in this race. She showed speed last time. I think they're going to be moving up front, and Out for a Spin, winning this Kentucky Oaks, would be her second straight major upset for trainer Dallas Stewart. Let's head down to Fairgrounds and take a look at Street Band for trainer Larry Jones and Leora. Leora ran second to her in here, but Street Band was an impressive winner of this race, and Sophie Doyle is riding her in the Kentucky Oaks, and she's another horse that seems to be getting better, and she's coming to this race off of her best effort, and you can't knock her coming this race off of her best race. She's a little bit slower than the other ones, but not that much slower that I would knock somebody for taking a shot with her. I don't really have a big knock on her. If she takes another step forward after this race in the Fairgrounds Oaks, I don't think she's impossible. The horse that was a major disappointment in this race was the 30 cents to $1 favorite, Serengeti Empress, who is coming back in the Kentucky Oaks. Now, she bled badly in the Fairgrounds Oaks. Trainer Tom Amos has been happy how she trained, and he believes she'll run well in here. And we'll take a look at her winning the Rachel Alexandra, which was the prep for the Fairgrounds Oaks. She was an easy winner of this race. And Serengeti Empress, when she's good, she's very good. The problem is, her best races, especially going longer, have been when she's been able to control on the front end. And with the presence specifically of motion to motion, but even Jaywalk, it's hard to see it happening. Now, she can get that clear outside stalking trip, but she has not yet demonstrated that she has the same kind of flash when she gets that outside stalking trip. And you're also talking about a horse that had a big issue in her last race with bleeding. There are a lot of questions with Serengeti Empress. When she runs her good races, she is capable of winning this race, but I don't think it sets up well for her from a dynamic standpoint. Now, we mentioned motion to motion. Motion to Motion is actually a very cool horse, and she comes in this race of a couple of tough second-place finishes, including the Fantasy down at Oaklawn last time when Lady Apple got an absolutely sensational ride by Ricardo Santana, coming up the rail in a tight spot and beating Motion to Motion. I like Motion to Motion as a horse, but she's going to have to run fast early and get it done at 1.125 in this race, and I don't see her surviving the pace scenario. Now, Lady Apple is a horse who's improving with every start, and you like to see that. We keep talking about that. But she got such a good trip in this race, it's hard for me to take her off of a perfect trip win like that. But once again, I'm not going to knock somebody for liking her, especially if, like me, you're trying to beat Bellafina. I can understand why Lady Apple is in the conversation. She can place herself tactically, well tactically, and she can close. And all of those are going to suit her well in the Kentucky Oaks. Let's take a look at Gelatin, who hasn't run since she beat Champagne Anyone in the Devona Dale down at Gulfstream Park. And Gelatin got a very good trip in this race. It was a race where Jaywalk came back and didn't run well, and Gelatin was able to beat Cookie Dough and hold off Champagne Anyone and beat her by over 4 lengths. I think that Champagne Anyone, though, has taken a big step forward, and I just don't know if Gelatin is a horse that I can trust getting the 1.125 and coming off of a 2+ month layoff in this race. I understand she ran a big figure in this race, and if you think she's a horse that can get the 1.125 and improve off that race, then I could see using her at a big price. She's just not for me. A horse that's a long shot that I'm going to use is Positive Spirit. And we're going to take a look at her winning the Demoiselle last year at Aqueduct with devastating ease. And this was an effort that would put her smack dab in competition for winning this Kentucky Oaks. The problem is that she came back in the Rachel Alexander. It was a total no-show. And then she finished second in the Gazelle in a race she probably should have won. If she ran back to this race, she was going to win it. Now, I know some people that think she was on a rail that wasn't the place to be that day, and maybe that worked against her. That's a possibility. I'm going to use her as a long shot because I know she can handle the distance, and I know she's got a good race in her somewhere, and I want to put some big price in there. So let's go through my picks in this Kentucky Oaks. I'm picking Champagne Anyone on top. I'm putting Dunbar Road second simply because if she gets in off the AEs, I want to use her. She probably doesn't get in which case Positive Spirit would be my next choice. Bellafina, I can't totally leave her out. I've got her fourth, maybe third, and Restless Rider as well. It's the Kentucky Oaks. You got to get involved. I prefer Champagne Anyone and Dunbar Road, the horses coming out of the Gulfstream Park Oaks. And remember, the best way to play it, you got it. Play it through NYRABets. Head on over to NYRABets.com. A $200 sign-up bonus available and a special $25 as well. If your horse in the Kentucky Derby that you bet your $25 on runs exactly second or third, you'll get your money back. Sign up using the promo code ROSES to take advantage of this offer through the Kentucky Derby. NYRABets.com. And many good things being offered on NYRABets, including a 10% winner's bonus on the Exacta in the Kentucky Oaks and the Kentucky Derby if you bet to the NYRABets app only, and you should be betting to the NYRABets app only. I bet it all day long. Also, a 2 million point hit and split in the late pick 4 at Churchill Downs on Kentucky Oaks Friday, all through NYRABets.com. That's the Kentucky Oaks. It's coming up this Friday. Enjoy the Kentucky Oaks and best of luck.